Get a snake and turn it into a whip.
A set full of 9 and 10-year-olds pretending to be witches and wizards? You can bet there were lots of shenanigans while filming.
I am so lucky. How many kids in the world would pay to be doing this right now?
Rupert Grint and Daniel Radcliffe found themselves so overwhelmed and excited by what they got to do on set that sometimes they became a bit too distracted. Grint in particular was a huge fan of all the Wizarding World goodies.
Love them. So good.
And he definitely didn't mind having to eat them take after take after take. Unfortunately, the young actor found himself a bit too engrossed in his candies and wound up missing cues.
No, do it again. Because you're supposed to be right on top of him, Rupert, when thought he'd be older, did you?
Filming definitely ended up taking a bit longer than they'd anticipated.
He says we're gonna do that scene again. I might collapse.
This wasn't Radcliffe's first acting job, but he still had some things to learn.
Dan, remember to enunciate. Keep your head up.
His talent isn't a question at all, but his ability to keep his head up while performing was definitely an issue for this production.
Head up, Dan. Your head is too far down in this.
It might just be the note that Chris Columbus gave the young Harry Potter actor the most throughout the entire process.
All right, Dan, remember, looking up. Hold your head up. Head up, Dan.
Hopefully, once it was time to film the Chamber of Secrets, Radcliffe was well versed on this lesson. Just because they weren't performing for the cameras doesn't mean Radcliffe and Grint took any breaks at all. In fact, between takes, the boys sometimes decided to start putting on a musical production of their own.
Listen, Dimples woman, we know you're in a hurry. But can we have please everything that is on your trolley?
The talent was clearly flowing out of them, so it's no surprise the production team just let that magic happen.
I belong in a zoo, next to the zebras in cage 52.
This definitely provided some great entertainment for those in charge of filming the behind the scenes. No one can say Rupert Grint didn't have his head in the game. The only issue is sometimes he wasn't in the same game as the rest of the team. Without even noticing, Grint very confidently addressed Miss Hermione Granger as,
Mr. I know everything.
He may have flubbed the line, but it's hard to find an actor who can do so just as confidently. When he wasn't busy performing, Grint started dabbling with directing, acting as a quasi-narrator for the making of the first Harry Potter movie. He was ready to direct his co-stars,
Dan, say, I can't look at you right now, I'm looking at the grass.
handle the camera,
Zoom in on your teeth.
give actors cues. His passion for the franchise is definitely evident and was useful for capturing the best behind the scenes. Evidently, acting is just one of his many talents. Not only was she performing, Emma Watson was acting with giant teeth in her mouth.
I'm having a teeth test.
While they looked pretty good, the fake teeth hindered the actress's ability to actually speak clearly, so they wound up being cut. Of all the footage that was captured with Watson and the buck teeth, one scene actually did make the final cut. Being so mature and skilled for his age, it was hard to spook or throw off the Harry Potter actor, so the director had to get a bit creative. Before filming, Warwick Davis was instructed to be a bit more aggressive as the Gringotts Goblin in an attempt to frighten Radcliffe, so they could try to capture a genuine terrified reaction from him. Even a surprise wouldn't do it. Daniel reacted in a totally unexpected way, bursting out laughing on the scene. The take obviously couldn't work, but it definitely lifted everyone's moods on set. While it was inevitable there would be multiple takes working with such young actors, in this particular case, it wasn't because anyone didn't know their lines, but rather because Emma Watson knew everyone's lines a little bit too well. Much like her character Hermione, the actress was overachieving and memorized all of her co-stars' lines.
If all Snape wants is the Sorcerer's Stone, why did he try and kill you during the Quidditch match?
This could be a great help to her on set, but unfortunately, she unknowingly was mouthing along the entire time, meaning the team had to shoot multiple takes until they finally captured some footage where Watson's mouth wasn't moving all the time. A bunch of young actors pretending how to fly for the very first time on broomsticks? You can bet the set was a bit chaotic. Between takes and even sometimes while filming scenes, moments were ruined by giggles and distractions. These 9 and 10-year-olds got to not only perform, but actually witness the big broom stunt that Matthew Lewis did as Neville. This was enough to get anyone excited. Somehow, amidst all the chaos, they managed to capture all the incredible scenes that we know and love. Even when she wasn't playing the part of Professor McGonagall, Maggie Smith did her best to keep the young actors in line.
You wait.
She was amazing at working with the kids, which is saying something since so many of the young actors were genuinely frightened of Alan Rickman for years. If anyone's focus was ever off, Smith wasn't shy to show that she was ready to discipline with a scroll.
I'm Jamie. I'm the commentator of this Slaps match.
Harry Potter was the name, and Slaps was the game on set. Bonding moments like this between takes help the actors feel comfortable with each other and grow to be the family that they eventually were.
Alright, rematch.
Watson definitely let her competitive edge show. Slaps wasn't just a fun game to get rid of some excess energy. The young cast took it very seriously.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
It's arguably one of Hermione's all-time best lines, but she wasn't able to so flawlessly tell Ron what was what from the get-go. Emma Watson definitely had a lot on her plate.
There are 50 billion, trillion, million things going on at the same time that you have to think about.
And sometimes she just couldn't get through the scene. Wingardium Leviosa was an epic line for us, and no doubt, an extremely memorable experience to film, filled with tons of laughter. Since so many of the young actors were experiencing a film set for the first time, it's not too surprising that they could get distracted at times and often totally lose focus in the middle of a scene.
Dan, don't play with that. No, don't be laughing, Dan. Just a little more serious, okay?
Director Chris Columbus had his work cut out for him, both directing and trying to keep actors focused long enough just to capture what they needed. Typically, making a mistake during an audition is a big no-no for actors, but a broken prop during an improvisation during one of Radcliffe's auditions wound up being the perfect opportunity to charm the team.
I think Chris Columbus broke a rear leg.
Oh, uh-oh.
And made me laugh.
We have a feeling by this point he already had the role in the bag, so this sweet blooper just affirmed how fun and easygoing Radcliffe would be to work with. No one can say the Harry Potter actor wasn't committed to his craft. When he wasn't performing magic on screen, the actor was actually trying his hand at real-life magic.
Dan Radcliffe, master magician.
With the on-set crew as his audience, Radcliffe would often test out his different skills, and it seems like he definitely improved over the process.
Is that your card?
Yes.
All the fun these actors had on set is just one of the many reasons that the Harry Potter franchise turned out to be so memorable. How much magic do you think Radcliffe knew by the end of the franchise?